Hi everyone, in this TV screencast I'm going to show you how to install Karma and how to configure it so that we can automate our test cases. So first, as you can see, in this particular folder we have lib folder where we have kept Jasmine, all the library files. We have the spec folder where I have created a folder to group all my spec files, and the source folder where also I have grouped all the source files. Further, as you can see, for running these spec files I need a runner running using which I can run and test my space test cases. So let's say I have a file called this one, spice spec runner. So if you see here in this HTML file I am including my source file, I am including my spec file. Similarly, if you see my other spec runners which I have created separately to understand our examples better, you can see here we have our source files. Here I am including my spec files, and if you look at the top we have all the Jasmine library files included. So if you come to the bottom part, here all the environment setting and reporter all required for running the Jasmine test runner test cases rather, and the report generation, we can see it here. So if you want to check these files by running it, what you need to do, you have to go to the folder, or you can right click on them. First you have to open the folder, and in that folder what you need to do, you need to double click the that particular HTML file. We need to be patient while the browser is opened and our test case gets run. As you can see, I am running this file from my folder, and here you can see all my test cases passing three specs. I have three specs. So if you go to the file, say if you go to the spec runner file, let's go there and check. So I can see I have three test cases and all three got pass. Now this way it is very tedious to run each and every file and see whether it is passing or not. So what can be a better approach is that if we can automate this task, and it would be far better if also we have the option whereby if we make any changes in the source or the spec files, the test cases run automatically. To help us in this regard, we have something called Karma, which is a JavaScript test runner. So for using Karma, what we need to install it, and then we need to configure it first. So for that we can go to the command prompt in the folder. As you can see, this is my folder path. Here I need to write Karma install, sorry, it should be npm install -g karma -cli. Using this karma-cli command, we can run our karma command from any project directory. By using this command, actually karma executable is placed in the path directory. So let's be patient while it gets downloaded. Now we need to configure it. So karma init karma dot config dot js and press enter. What it is asking, which testing framework do you want to use? So we want to use Jasmine here. So for that we need not to change anything, just press enter to move to the next question. Now here we don't need any requires file, so we can also press enter to move to the next question. Now here we can see that when we will be running our test cases, it can be captured through Chrome, Safari, Firefox, or we can use Phantom.js also. So for getting those options, we can press tab to see all the options here. So after selecting Chrome, I press enter. Now here you need to press tab once more to select this blank option, and then you press enter. Means I'm just repeating once more this step, which is very important and sometimes we forget how to do it. Yes, first here you press tabs, you can see the options. When the blank one comes, you hit enter button. Now it is asking the file location, your source file, your test file. So where is our source file? Source files are in this src directory and its subdirectories. So how to specify that? Src space forward slash star then star dot js. Again, now we have to enter spec file directory. So how to do that? What is our spec directory? There is spec. So for that, spec star, because we have here all the subfolders also along with the files in the spec directory. Then star, here we are following a particular convention, so we have to match that. For that, spec.js. Okay, now here these are my source and including this file source and spec files. Now as you can see in my spec file, there is a file which is spec.helper. That means it does not match this, so we need to include that also. How we can include? Spec forward slash spec helper dot js. Now you press enter and press tab and press enter. So Now we come to this particular query where they are asking, should any of the files included by the previous button be excluded? So here we have nothing to exclude, so just press enter to go to the next question. Here what they are asking, this is very important: do you want Karma to watch all the files and run the test on change? Means if you make any changes in your particular test spec file, means the test files, or if you make changes in your source files, that test runner will automatically be run, and it will give you a report whether the test cases that you have written or the modification that you have made have broken in test cases or not. So you say yes, and then you press to enter. So as you can see, the config file got created with the name karma.config.js. You can see it here also, karma.config.js. As I clicked on karma.config.js, as you can see, whatever we have mentioned, framework, Jasmine, files included, source file, spec file, and that spec helper file, excluding nothing. Processor, we are leaving that, we are not doing anything here. We can see this option individually later, but what is important now here, this auto watch option, which is enabled now with true, and browser we have set as Chrome. So now we have installed and rather configured the config file. Now let's go to the command line again and start the karma config file. Start. Okay, so I think the option command we have given something is wrong. So let's, what is the options available? Start config file. So here what we can do, can move that, start karma dot config dot js. Okay, maybe we are missing some commands were over here, so for that we need to check again. Okay, sorry, karma start. So as you can see, it is starting the Chrome browser.